Alright, what is this background we've got today? Hello, folks. What is our crazy background? Let's see. Learn about this picture. What do we got today? Hawa Mahal in Jaipur, India. Interesting. Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Hold on. Actually, I need to move chat to a different screen so I can see you guys. So today we're going to do something that people have been requesting from us for a long time. Finally going to pull the trigger on it, and that is we're going to build some Vortex collections for SS2 because it is very confusing for new people who hear of sim settlements, and then they come to Nexus or Bethesda.net and search for sim settlements, and you get a lot of crap, right? There's all of the stuff for SS1. There's all the different add-ons for that. Then there's sim settlements 2. A lot, one of the first questions a lot of people is, should I have 1 and 2 together? Then there's sim settlements 2 chapters 2 and 3. It's very confusing. So my goal here is to create some kind of one-click installs for SS2. So I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm thinking here. Hello, everybody. Oh, wow, there's a lot of text. Let's see. It's scrolled down. There's so much right now. Rain, Kaz, Canuck, Raven, Riker, Sonic Phil. Hello, guys. Zanny Nut, how's it going? Jason Andridge. Wabajack with follow 4 for MO2. Yeah, Wabajack could be kind of the next step. I'm hopeful that, like, Vortex is super easy. It didn't take me long to learn it, but I could do a Wabajack list as well. Though I think Wabajack's kind of a power user thing. So my goal here is to start with something that's good for new users, because we all know that the TV show brings a lot of new fans to the game. So in the next couple of weeks, we can anticipate there'll be a lot of new Fallout players. And so it'd be nice if we could bring them over to our community, right? Get them and suck them into the sim settlements first. Omni, hello. Bramble, how's it going? So I'm going to show you guys what I got here. So this is Vortex. Most of you probably don't use it because most of you guys are power users. Let's see who else we got more here. Guardian, Daniel Matthews, Kid Commonwealth, Brian Baker. Hello, guys. So Vortex is kind of like it used to be Nexus Mod Manager, and this is their latest attempt. I know they have another thing they're working on, but this is the one that's out there now, and it's the one-click install that's based on there. I bet half of you guys probably are using Mod Organizer or an old anything but Vortex, because Vortex is probably too simplistic for those of you guys who are downloading a lot of mods. But it works, and it does have a feature to, like, one-click install a whole bunch of mods. So what I'm working on are what I call Sim Settlements 2 starter packs. So the idea is that they're a quick way for somebody to pick up SS2, and then we will hopefully gateway drug them into becoming power users. I'm thinking for power users, I'll probably have like an article or something out there that's like, here's how to get real deep, where I can, point them to some of the more advanced add-ons and the wiki and the what'd you call it, the forums and our Discord, all that stuff, like gateway them into that. But for new players, like what I'm thinking is we want it real simple, right? You want them to have a quick and easy out of the box experience, not too many mods. So what I'm thinking for SS2 starter, and I'm going to show you it. I'm going to install this, install, so it should start downloading it all. Okay, you curated this collection, blah, blah, blah. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Let's do create a new profile. All right, install now. Do you want us to switch to this profile? Yes. So this is kind of the new user experience. Like, this is what they would be experiencing. So we're going to switch to Sim Settlements 2 starter. And now it's going to start downloading stuff, and it'll show us some of it. So here's what it's going to include. It's going to include just the basics. So HUD framework, workshop framework, SS2, its chapters, SS2 extended, and then a couple of the little patches that we've made, like the outfit injection patch and such. So you should see them all pop up here. Like this is how a collection goes. Sorry for the beeping. I don't know why it's doing that. But it'll scroll through and show you little previews of what the person's going to get. And you can also manually scroll through it up here. So we're getting the chapters. So this is the starter pack. This is like bare minimum simplistic. Just get somebody into the story, get them hooked in. Then the next level after that is where I want to, this is where the next level is where I need your guys' help. So level 2 is what I want to call Starter Plus. And that is going to add in add-on packs, but I have certain requirements for them to go into this. So this is where I'm going to need your guys' help. So my requirements for the add-on packs are going to be that they are immersive. So I don't want like crazy like real world stuff. Like you don't want to have like a bunch of out there things. You want the stuff to feel at home. So stuff that feels like it right at home in Fallout 4. We want it to be working correctly. So I don't want any add-on packs that were abandoned or that are buggy or that you got to work around. I want to focus mostly on building plans and that kind of thing. So like building plans, HQ plans, world repop. And the reason I want to focus on those is because they're high impact. They stick to the core. They don't require the player to like do anything. They just kind of function. And unlike city plans, they don't require a ton of script data. So city plans, we will have a third pack that will include a bunch of those. So those are kind of my criteria for those. And then the fourth pack or the third collection is going to be Sim Settlements 2 Starter Plus F4SE. And the F4SE version will just have a couple additional things. One, it will have F4SE because of Baka Scrap Heap. If you guys haven't run into this already, Fallout 4 has a memory limit with script data. And if you install a bunch of city plan packs or a bunch of city plans, you will hit that limit. And so it's kind of a requirement. If you want to run 1 million city plans, you got to be running F4SE. So the F4SE version will include F4SE, Baka Scrap Heap, and then some number of city plans. Like for now, I think I started with the contest mega pack, but we can add more to that as well. So that's what we're going to discuss tonight, figuring out what is the stuff we're going to put in here. And I'm also going to test and make sure that these installers work, because in theory, what you should be able to do is start with starter. And then if you're like, okay, I like that, I want more, in theory, you should be able to install Starter Plus, and it should just work. Like it should just install on top of this one and see the duplicate mods and just go with it. So you have now the whole collection installed. You can start editing your collection by cloning it. But what we actually want to do is just try playing it. I want to make sure that this actually runs and it doesn't break. Because I made this on another computer that had never seen Fallout 4 before. I hooked up an old computer, and now we're going to make sure that this installer works, because I don't want to release this if it doesn't work, obviously. So we're going to start with running this here and see what happens. Oh, what the hell? It's London got installed. Okay, well, first test is a fail. So how did Fallout London end up installed? Let's see. This is why I had to stop playing London, by the way, guys, because it kept hijacking my system. Because this is pointing to Steam. And if I go into mods, there's no Fallout London here. All right, okay, so what we're gonna have to do is uninstall Fallout London completely. So give me a second here. All right, let's see. I've got to go to GOG here. Installed. Understood. So we're going to uninstall Fallout 4 from GOG, and that should take care of that. Uninstall. All right, come on. Come on, GOG. You got this. I have no idea if it's actually doing anything. I've never actually tried to uninstall anything from GOG before. Uninstall game. Yes, uninstall. It's like nothing's happening. Maybe I'm being impatient. Oh, there it goes. Now it disappeared. Okay, so now that's gone from there. So let's try again. I might have to reboot the computer, but we'll try this again and see if it launches. Couldn't find Fallout 4.exe. Yeah, see? Oh, because it's trying to run F4SE, and I don't even have that installed. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to go to Games, Manage, Manually Set Location, Fallout 4, Select Folder, Steam, Select. All right, this is where I do not use Vortex, so I'm trying to learn it, because if I'm going to put out a collection, I have to be able to support it. So I want to understand how this works. Why is this trying to launch F4SE? That I don't, or Yeah, F4SE loader. Couldn't find Fallout.exe. Well, you're not supposed to be using Fallout.exe or F4SE loader. Okay, let's try rebooting Vortex now that we have uninstalled the GOG version. I may have to do like stop managing on Fallout 4 and reload it again. We'll see. It's defaulted to the last instance of Fallout 4 in the registry. I installed London with MO2 instead. So do I need to invalid primary tool? What? Quick launch has reverted to the game's executable. Okay, maybe that'll have fixed it now. Let's see. Maybe rebooting fixed it. Yeah, I guess I had only launched with F4SE prior. So, okay, so it was probably just finding the last time I ran the game without F4SE, which would have been London. Okay, so now we're going to just do a new game here. All right. So I'm building the collections for the latest update of the game because I'm looking at, this is for new players, and they are not going to be, they're not going to get into the weeds about, you know, all the OG, the original version versus the next gen version. They're not going to get into all that stuff. Like, they're just going to install the game from Steam.
Never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
You think?
Absolutely. Now get ready and stop hogging the mirror.
Right.
Okay, so we'll just go with John Fallout. Okay, I still haven't figured out where that radio signal's coming from. I know it's coming from SS2, but I don't know where the reference is that's causing that to come up. That has been in since either chapter, I don't know if chapter 2 or chapter 3 introduced that. Can't find it anywhere in the plugin. It's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit annoying every time I see it. Okay, so we got the pre-build here that showed up. I'm not actually going to run that because we just want to check and see that we get Jake to show up and we can build a couple of plots, and then I'll be comfortable with this. Let's read some Grognak.
Grognak the Barbarian in the Jungle of the Bat Babies. My favorite.
I shall attend to young Shaw.
You know, I was nervous at first, but Codsworth's really good with Sean.
I see you guys, new folks asking about sim settlements. So one of the things we added recently is this little guy over here. If you click on this thing, you can actually set it up so that some settlements will change all of the settlements in the base game, or as many as you want. You get full control. Actually, I'll show you the menu, even if we aren't going to run it. But you can actually make it so that some settlements can act as a game randomizer if you want, and it will build up different cities inside of each of the settlement spaces that you choose, or a random set of them. There's a bunch of options I can show you.
Can you get that?
You can also build them at runtime. You can actually take over a settlement and say, I don't want to build it. You guys build it for me.
Good morning. Vortex calling.
Good morning.
Isn't it? Just look at that sky out there. You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. I've been trying for days. It's a matter of utmost urgency, I assure you.
Then I'm glad you caught up with me.
Oh, me too. You have no idea. Now, I know you're a busy fellow, so I won't take up much of your time. Time being a precious commodity. I'm here today to tell you that because of your family service to our country, you have been pre-selected for entrance into the local vault. Vault 111.
Sounds great.
Oh, it is. Believe you me. Now, you're already cleared for entrance in the unforeseen event of total atomic annihilation. I just need to verify some information. That's all.
Sure, let's do it.
Splendid. Splendid. Now, let's see.
Okay. So, name. Wait, why can't I do name? What's going on? Let me do name. Oh, there it goes. John. No, why is it typing Josh? John? Oh, because I was trying to Skype John Skyrim, and I mean John Fallout. Had my hand on the S. I was just ready to go. I've been playing too much Fallout. We're doing a lot of Skyrim lately. No, John Fallout. Why did you add a dash? Fallout. This is the keyboard I have is a membrane. It is super sensitive. Okay, John Fallout's going to be all 4s. There we go.
Wonderful.
Now let's see if Cogsworth can say John Fallout.
Just gonna walk this over to the vault. Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
Thanks again.
Hey, it's peace of mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
For you and Sean, no price is too high.
Good answer.
I have my moments.
Okay, here we go. So here's the pre-population system. For anyone who hasn't seen this, basically this is an optional thing you can do, and I don't recommend it for your first playthrough. This is something for subsequent playthroughs of SS2 that can just change up the game for you. Or if you're not going to play the SS2 quest, this could be a good way to change the feeling of your game. But if you're not familiar with Sim Settlements at all, the 2 core mechanics it adds are plots, which are basically a workshop item that's a square, and you choose the type you want. Do you want agricultural, which will build farms? Do you want residential, which will build homes? Do you want commercial, which will build shops? Things like that. There's 7 of them in total. And then the settlers will assign themselves to those, and they will pull from a pool of buildings of that style and build them for you. And then there's a lot more depth to it that you can engage with or not about having to fulfill settler needs that will kind of vary over time. So, you know, at first they need just food, water, defense, and then over time they'll want more of those things. They'll start to want power. You can build them recreation to make them happier. All these different levels of things you can get involved in if you want, or you can just let them build the plots and just decorate for fun. And then there's also city plans, which are a mix of plot buildings and just general design for a settlement, where some other player in the base of SS2, it's some of the designers on our team, designed a whole settlement, and this will just plop it down in the world for you so that you don't have to build. So you can just like quickly get up a settlement up and running, and it'll be pretty. And with this system, you basically run those city plans before you even get out of the vault. So when you finish this pre-war segment, a bunch of the settlements will already be built up. They'll be controlled by the NPCs, so you're not responsible for them, but it'll give you something new to explore. They'll have people living in them, etc. So there's all sorts of options. You can choose, you know, what percentage of the selected settlements do you want. So if you want it to be some sort of random, so you could choose like, I'm going to choose a bunch, and I want, let's see, I want somewhere between, hold on a second. Oh, is this still broken? Oh yeah, this is broken on this version. So I have it fixed locally. We have another patch coming out probably next week. But you can choose like which settlements you want to build. So if there's some like, I really want to build this one for myself. Oh, that's funny. There's a bug with the way animations work on the televisions and such, where the sound will play forever in the background, and then as soon as you exit out of a menu, it'll all play at once. So you can basically choose between all the different settlements that exist in the game and say, you know, which ones you want to have pre-built and which ones you don't. After I patch that, then you'll also have the option to choose like, just give me 50% of the ones I select, so that it's a little bit random. And then if you know which city plans that you have installed and you don't like some of them, you can remove them so that they're not an option. You can choose what levels. City plans generally have levels. They don't have to. Some of them are just a design. Some of them are a design that will upgrade multiple times and change how it looks. And then you can choose how populated you want them to be. Do you want them to fill up with as many people as there are beds, or do you want it to be some sort of variant amount, maybe 50% full, or, you know, surprise me with a randomization. So all sorts of different options. In this case, we're gonna not use it, so I'm gonna choose, actually I changed my mind. But that system is available, and I, again, don't recommend it for first playthroughs. That is a good second playthrough or third playthrough.
How are the 2 most important men in my life doing? Spin the mobile a bit. He loves that. Hey, how's my little guy? Much better now, huh? Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Sir, Mum, you should come and see this.
Codsworth, what's wrong?
Just a second, writing myself a note for our next patch, because I have a mostly working build of the next patch. I should have it ready this weekend for some of our testing team.
Followed by flashes, blinding flashes, sounds of explosions. We're trying to get confirmation.
What?
We seem to have
There are about
lost
300 more names
contact
Cosgrove can
with
vocalize.
stations.
There's a list you can Google. He may say Mr. John, not sure Mr. Fallout though. Yeah, I think he says both. He probably says Mr. John. I doubt he will say any combination of names. I was joking because it would have been funny if he said it. Would not have been prepared for that.
Oh my god.
We need to get to the vault now.
Comic Commissioner didn't Bethesda say they had something new with the original voice actor Nate Nora? Am I tripping? Yeah, they did. They have not announced details yet, though. Other than they said they had like a little tiny snippet, and they said was very. Their marketing of it so far was very unclear. I assume that they're gonna tell us more soon.
Vault participants, check in at the gate.
That's absurd! I am
Not on the list. You don't get
I'm
in.
going in. You can't stop me! Oh!
We need to get in. We're on the list. Infant, adult male, adult female. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Good luck,
We're
ma'am.
gonna die!
God help
We're
us.
gonna
Follow
die.
me. Come on.
What's gonna happen to all those people outside
We're
the
doing
gate?
everything we can. Now keep moving.
Danny Mans with the latest F4C, it pops up incorrect or incompatible with WSF identifier DLL, something to that effect. Yeah, that is a known issue. We are going to patch that DLL after Bethesda finishes fixing the game. So they still have one
Almost
significant
there. We're gonna
issue
be
left
okay.
for
I love
Xbox
you.
players,
Both
which
of you.
We
is
love you too.
you have to have double the mod space to install most things, and then for PlayStation, I guess a lot of the DLC still doesn't work. So
Hold on.
the assumption is that the next patch, which is supposed to be this week or next, will resolve those, and once they've done that, then we'll go in and fix the WSFW identifier, because it is a giant pain to fix those DLLs, so we don't want to have to do it over and over again. That's why the F4SC team and anybody who manages those DLLs are heroes, and you guys should join their Patreons if they have them, because they rock. I actually don't know how many of those guys do have Patreons.
Everyone,
but
please step off the elevator and proceed up the stairs in an orderly fashion.
No need to worry, folks. We'll get everyone situated in your new home.
2 more hotfixes in December?
Vault
Oh, okay. I
111.
didn't read that.
A better
I just
future
saw something
underground.
mentioned about a December patch. That's all I saw.
Up the stairs. This way.
Though so far, every time they've patched, they've had to do a hotfix. So, wouldn't be shocked if they only planned one patch and end up with 2.
Step over to the table, take a suit.
You'll need your suits before
Welcome.
we can take you further.
Pick up a
Oh, and
suit.
then this thing over here, guys.
What now?
Just follow the doctor here. He'll show
This
you
right
where
here,
to
this
go.
contingency
All
plans.
right, you
This
three.
is a backup
Follow me.
option if you didn't remember to do the
This is our new
the tape
home.
in
Oh,
the
you're gonna
player's
love it.
bedroom. You could do it from here
This
as well.
is
This is
one of our
like a
most
second
advanced
chance to do it if you
facilities.
forgot,
Just
or if you
step
chose
over
not
to
to the
the
first time and then change your
Just
mind, or if you
this
didn't know about it there.
Levels are good.
Right over there, please.
It's gone. Our home. Everything we had.
My mother
Sir?
and father down in D.C.
Here you are.
Oh, God, honey. What if they didn't make
How
it?
long do you think we'll be down here?
It's a difficult time.
Oh, we'll be going over all that in orientation. Just a few medical items we have to get through first.
Just checking everyone off the list as they come in. As well as comfortable.
Prepared for the future, right?
Such a lovely family you have. I hope you'll see this as your new home.
Excuse me.
Just this way. Just step in here and put your vault suit on.
This is funny. This little scene right over here where Sean starts crying.
It'll be okay.
I only found this for the first
Daddy's right
time
here. See?
while testing the
Honey.
pre-build for SS2.
Could you help me?
I'd always just like, okay, jumped right in, but you can actually do this.
Who's my little guy? I'm not going far. I'll just be over there.
There he is. See? Daddy's not going far.
All set? Just step inside.
Here's
and put on
something
your
else I learned about this intro that I only learned recently, and that Imperial Sympathizer, who does most of our implementation work in KGC, explained to me that baby Sean here is a piece of armor that Nora is wearing on her arm, which is pretty funny. I think it's kind of like the train hat in Fallout 3.
pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault. Just relax.
Time for a whole new life.
Yeah, Kaz, the cabinet's there if you forget. Then tune into the cryo first. The cabinet is actually not there post-war. After you go post-war, we assume you don't want to do it anymore. So I thought if you come to that cabinet post-war, you'll see it's all destroyed. The idea was like somebody raided it and took the plans and used them.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
I know this game is like the story, like with the Sean stuff and the voice protagonist is divisive, but man, the first time I played this game, like before like all that stuff had clicked, I absolutely loved my first experience with this. I mean, I still love the game, and I get why people criticize it. I actually don't have the same problem. I actually like the voice protagonist, and I think that I don't think that the dialogue wheel is as big a problem as people think it is, because I've seen times in Far Harbor where they just do like a Y becomes more options, and we've done the same for SS2, so I don't think it's as big a limiting factor as people think it is, but I still just remember just loving the hell out of this game. From like, it sucked me right in with all this. Did not have the same experience with stuff, or with 76. So as much flack as Fallout 4 has gotten from some folks, I think just like every game before it in the Bethesda franchise, they pulled me in. Like I was hooked in right away, and I just wanted, and I played till 6 a.m. when I first started.
Cryogenic array. Vault residents must vacate immediately.
Come on, come on, come on! Oh, God!
I'll find who did this, and I'll get Sean back. I promise.
I really would like to add an option to have the Institute come down here and clone your spouse. I think that would be awesome. I think somebody already made a mod to do something like that, but that would have been would have made it really hard to, much harder choice to take out the Institute. Giant roaches?
Giant roaches? What the hell?
Merge F4 and NV, nor Nate, depending on which you start with, becomes the courier. Have they done? I think they've done that in a game I've played not too long ago, where the other character you don't choose becomes a character in the story. I know. I mean, like Baldur's Gate 3 was originally designed to be that way, right? Like you choose one of the heroes and then you meet up the rest of them. And then I guess they found out during the early access that pretty much everybody just wanted to do make your own hero. See, this is how much of a loot goblin I am. Even though I know we're just here to quickly test and make sure this collection's working, I still want to go loot all the containers. The team always has to like yell at me during our Friday playtests or whatever we're working on, because I always am getting distracted looting things, even though we're just trying to test and show off all the new stuff everybody worked on that week. I usually am the driver. Okay, I see some of our new stuff showing up. We've got this terminal here. We've got this holotape. Oh yeah, we can't read it yet because we don't have a holotape or a holotape player. We don't have our Pip-Boy. Yep, there I go again. Immediately going for look for. I was like, I think there's more ammo in here. Will this mod work best after the 100 gig update for the game when it comes out for now? I would assume it'll work better once there's that, but I mean, I don't think space is really the issue. I think it's just my hope is that I'm going to try after they do the after they finish the updates and get all the quirks worked out. I am going to try and reboot one of my Xbox playthroughs to see if I can get that back on the rails, to see if the texture bug was the problem with it. I might replace, because my Skyrim playthrough is getting close to completion. I think we've got maybe, I mean, we have all of Dragonborn, which can take quite a while to play through, but still, once that's over, I might reboot my Xbox playthroughs for Sunday. No jet or red dresses there. Hey, you never know. There's leveled lists. You can get stuff from anywhere.
Vault door cycling sequence initiated. Please stand back.
This moment absolutely floored me, with having played every Fallout before it, and it always just being like a still moment. You know, the vault door, you just see it closed and then you click on it and it's a load screen, and then actually getting to watch the door animate open. Let's see it. Here comes the Fallout 4. This is, I think this is a pre-reload stutter. So I bet if we looked into the game in the CK, there would be a trigger box or something here that calls like preload target area to make it faster to load the combo. It's right there. You see a little stutter? That is there's a preload system they have in the game, which is really cool for making moments a little more magical later. But you sacrifice the now to do it. Like, it's like, I don't know if it's worth it or not. Yeah.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
Alright, so it looks like everything's installed correctly. I've seen lots of elements of SS2 already. We got the option for the pre-build. I found one of the holotapes that we planted in the vault. So the real test is going to be, can we start quest number 1. I can also run some console commands and make sure that everything's installed, but you know, the goal here is to make sure I understand what a new user is going to be running into. Okay, so now, you know, most people go talk to Codsworth. So this, the myth going around, I think most of you guys who watch me regularly know this, but this is not actually the start of SS2 clicking. This magazine means nothing. The actual start to SS2 is building a recruitment radio beacon at a settlement, and this just gives you the supplies to do that. And then it tends to be that you also start, if you scrap a couple of tires, you will have enough to not only build the beacon, but also a basic generator too. So we can go ahead and build a generator here, or a recruitment beacon, and we should have enough for a generator too. Okay, we need steel, ceramic, and copper. Let's see if we can get steel here. Nope, that was all I needed. Apparently the jack was all you need. Okay, cool. Generator is... Yeah, I knew it was just scrap a couple of things here. You get enough for the generator too. And we power that up. Signal found. And I saw our HUD pop up, which is good. I want the HUD. I think for most people the HUD is pretty fundamental. Like, playing without that really sucks. I mean, you can do it. You pretty much just want to turn all the options down to easy mode. And then here comes the stranger, Mr. Jake.
Hey, hello there. If I'm not mistaken, you're the fella I've been looking for.
You hear my broadcast?
You're sharp. Yeah, I heard your broadcast. Sounded as if you were starting some kind of settlement. Is that about the right of it?
That's right.
Well, in that case, I've got something you might be interested in. Here, catch. It's called an ASAM sensor.
Hey, the animation's
working. If you're gonna be
working.
building settlements, these things are what you'll want to use.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
I think a demonstration is in order. Place that ASAM down on the ground somewhere. Go ahead. Any old spot will do.
So here's the first point where some people get stuck. I'm hoping with the objective there saying build and the little top corner hold left to open workshop menu is enough, but you know. Alright, so now we can go to the some settlements menu. Actually, hold on a second. Let's see. What does that actual objective say? Build a 2x2 residential plot in Sanctuary Hills. So I guess the it might be helpful to extend the objective to say, like, under the Sim Settlements menu. It's a little less immersive, but I think objectives aren't always... The objectives tend to not be written in universe. Instead, the journal entries are.
Congratulations! You've made the smart move of choosing Rocke brand ASAM sensors for your city planning needs. Unlike other less reliable multi-purpose sensors, Rocke brand ASAM sensors offer the level of versatility and connectability that you deserve. Rocke brand ASAM sensors, America's #1 sensor solution. Distributed in partnership with Vortex.
Nicely done. Don't mind the ASAM, it's just scanning the area for materials. Now for this next part, I'm gonna pretend to be a settler. Just come to work for
So in the Ultimate Remaster cool Super Edition of SS2, we would have this thing like projecting in that green the shape of the building. And we know how to make it individually, but we couldn't figure out a good way to do it for add-on pack authors to make their own versions of those. So we ended up not shipping that feature.
Don't sell yourself short.
You're right. If only I had a little guidance, I could probably build something myself. But wait, what is this? Why, it's an ASAM! Just the thing I need!
What do you need it for?
That is a great question. You see, with an ASAM, there's no barrier for entry when it comes to building something. All I'd need to do is follow the step-by-step instructions provided by the ASAM. Here, let me show you.
It seems a weird conversation having just after leaving the vault with your last married being seeing your wife shot, kidnapped. I mean, that's what that's one of people's #1 complaints about Fallout 4, right? Is the whole game is full of stuff like that, like distractions away from your core mission. That's actually one of the reasons we opted to only make him show up after you build a beacon, because it was like we need the player to be able to control when they have this happen. Because if we just force, like, otherwise, when do we do it? Do we wait till there's an appropriate time in the main quest, or? So now it's opt-in. You choose when you want to
The directions that the ASAM
engage.
provides are so easy to understand, even a savage could do it with no problem.
Keith Nelson, yeah, seeing the door unlock, pull out the first time back 2015 sent a shiver down my spine, felt so real. Yeah, it was super cool. And it seems really well thought out, right? Like there's like the lights that come up about warning you, and like some hissing smoke from the
Right, just one more nail.
from the back of the motor, and it just looks really well cared for. Like whoever did that animation, I actually know who did it. And yeah, they are awesome. It was a really cool moment.
Built using locally sourced materials and designed via our patented dynamic easy build blueprint software. With Ropke brand ASAM sensors, everyone can have a roof over their head. After all, a warm and dry citizen is a productive citizen.
And there you have it. A fully built home. Ready for habitation by some lucky wastelander. And you barely had to lift a finger. Not too shabby, huh? So now that you've seen what they can do, what do you think? Are ASAM sensors something you might be interested in?
Yes, I'm really interested.
I thought you might be. Unfortunately, right now I only have the one sensor on me. However, I can provide you with more. And once you have more, I can show you even more stuff you could build with them. Homes are just the start. But first, I'm gonna have to ask for a little task done in return.
Of course. Just tell me what you need help with.
Alright, here it is. I got me a workshop in a town called Concord. Nice enough place, fairly quiet. Or at least it was. But just recently, I returned from a trade run to find the entire town overrun by raiders. And now I can't get near my workshop. A small group I could deal with, but there's too many for me to take on alone. So I'm gonna need someone to help take them out. So there it is. That's the job. You help me get rid of these raiders, I'll give you more ASAMs. And show you how to build even more stuff with them.
Don't worry. I'll help you deal with these raiders.
You will? Oh, that's great. Okay then. Let's head to Concord and show those raiders who's boss. Lead on.
Okay. Alright, so that's all seems to be working. We'll check a few more things in a minute. Let me catch up with chat though. Daniel Math is not sure if I mentioned this before, but a good way to check for future stutter is to head around the right side of the house that has the chem bench behind it. So this one over here. So head around the right side, like just following this backyard. Will I see a stutter? Is that like you're saying my game will stutter right here? That seems fine. Are you talking about that texture bug? Because this should be fixed. The texture bug should be fixed. I'm playing on the... I'm not on Anniversary Edition, but I am on like the latest patch. Like I'm just on the Steam patch. Because I want to... Again, I'm trying to get a feeling for what a brand new player would experience today if they installed... Just grabbed grabbed Fallout 4 off of Steam and snagged this SS2 collection. I want to see what it feels like. For our Marine question, how did you plan for the early game SS2 to work out since Sanctuary will get overpopulated and it's a small to mid area? I mean, I don't know how to answer your question. So we figured 90% of players would do what I just did, which was they would build a beacon in Sanctuary and bring Jake here, and there's plenty of room to build whatever you want. And if you don't build in Red Rocket and Abernathy as well, like this settlement, you can go crazy in Sanctuary. There's not much going on up this part of the world, so you can build this place pretty crazy without crashing the game, which is nice. So that's how you know 90% of the playtesters who alpha tested SS2 what they ended up doing. And I think that's what most new players tend to do. Every time I watch somebody stream this, almost every single one of them does it in Sanctuary. So kind of how we expected it to go. If you had more specific things you were trying to get me to talk about, let me know. And Money Baby, the vault door opening also makes the papers on the floor get blown away. I didn't notice it right away. No, I didn't notice that either. That's awesome. Yeah, that's real care went into that, which is really cool to see. Dungeons Method, I've done it with every version to see whether I really need XL or PRP. Shadow 790, have you said whether you're bringing SS2 Extended Story to Xbox with size increase? It depends. One of the things that we don't have an answer for is, will all Xboxes get the space extension, or is it only the Series S and Series X, like the new Xboxes? Because according to the news post Bethesda has made so far, that's the case, that it's only those, which complicates things, because then I would have to maintain an Xbox version and a Series version separately, which is will be very frustrating, because it's already frustrating enough with their naming scheme, because before the Series came out, they had the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. So it's just talking, just even communicating about the versions is frustrating. Yeah, I'm hopeful that that was miscommunicating on their news, and that the 100 gig update is going to go to everybody, and then I could just have an Xbox build, which would make me happy, because every new build just takes longer. Like right now, on patch days, like excluding patch time, right? There's time where I'm building the patch, which is, you know, a few hours a week. I'm just working on bug fixes and such, or tinkering with quality of life stuff. And then on the patch day, like the day I'm going to release it, currently takes about 4.5 hours to do, just to get like all the files packaged up and pushed out to all the different places, to pushed up on Bethesda, pushed up on Nexus. There's various versions, like Xbox has a different version. There's the all chapters pack. There's the extended by itself. All of that takes hours and hours and hours. I mean, a lot of it is waiting time. It's not all active time, but I still have to be fairly engaged with doing it. So if I have to add another Xbox build, it's going to extend that time even longer, which would be very unfortunate. And it would be confusing, right? Because then if I could say, there's Xbox now has all the Quest content, but only new Xbox, and then somebody's going to ask me, what does that mean? Like, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm really hopeful that they just let everybody have the space update, and then I don't have to deal with that nonsense. So I'm kind of like, yes, I'm going to get it to you guys when the space update comes out, but how quickly and in what form depends entirely on how Bethesda handles that. Also, it'll be like, is it a forced update, right? Is it a thing like every Xbox player gets it, then that means I can just start packaging SS2 with that? If it ends up being a thing of like, only Series get it, or you have to opt in, then I probably have to make a SS2 extended Xbox edition, so that'll be a separate download, something like that. So I'm kind of like, I'm just waiting to see what happens before I make any decisions. Make your own game console that adds some settlements to any game you play on it. Yeah, I'm not even in a position to make my own game, much less my own console. Anybody who gets in the console business these days is a Looney Tunes. Like, that's crazy. Even Xbox is Microsoft, which is like one of the most valuable companies in the world, getting out of that game. Like, this next Xbox is basically just going to be a PC. I think the data increase is only for the latest, but it will double check the notifications. That's what it said on their news post. But again, I don't know if that's accurate, or if, you know, sometimes the marketing people don't know all the technical details. So okay, so we can assume that this version works. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this first of all. Save starter collection test, because one of the things I want to do is try and do an in-place upgrade to Starter Plus. So for those of you guys who are joining late after I talked about this already, what we're trying to do here is I'm trying to set up a set of collections. The idea is that I want to have a version for absolute new players to get into SS2, and then some upgrade paths for them. So or if people are feeling a little more bold, they could go straight to one of the upgrades. But if they choose the lowest end one, I want them to be able to install one of the other versions later if they decide to. So the second level is what we're going to focus on next. And this is the one where I'm going to need some help from you guys. So I grabbed like the top 20 or so most popular, most endorsed SS2 add-ons. But I will add more. And I may remove some of these if you guys advise me that I should. So we're going to talk about the ones that I have in here, and we'll talk about some potential new ones. And I'll go over what my criteria are for adding ones to this, and then it will be an evolving thing. Like every time we do an SS2 patch, I will probably add more stuff based on community feedback and stuff. I think it'd be really fun to have all the new add-ons that fit into my criteria, I just automatically add them each month. Like, you know, maybe as like the same day I do the news on the 28th every month, I would update the collections to add any new content. That way people who are using the collection could just go update and they'd get all the new stuff that people have released, which would be really neat. So we're going to try installing Starter Plus and see if I need to, and I'm going to try doing it right inside the profile that Starter's on to see what happens. I've never tried this. So install, and it should prompt me and ask me, do we want to do it in the starter current? Yeah, because what we assume, this is not just what we assume on SS2 team, this is what developers do. Like you assume that everyone reads nothing and they just click next a bunch. That is the assumption of how most people operate. And because think about how many times you've done that with a new piece of software that you don't care about yet, right? You just, it's like, yeah, I just get me to it, get me in there. So we're just going to hit install now and see what happens. The hope, and my early testing on my other computer seemed to bear this out, was that it sees that I already have the other thing installed and just doesn't reinstall those same mods. So we'll see if that happens. Series XS up to 100 gig limit, supposedly. Yeah, that's what they said. I'm hoping that it will be Xbox One as well, but maybe they're thinking that Xbox One would not handle that well because it barely handles the game as is. Ooh, good idea linking that, Canuck. Everybody should have that place bookmarked. Okay, what is this? Done. Okay. You now have the whole collection installed. You can start editing your collection by cloning it. Okay, cool. So now we have this installed. So now let's go to the mod screen here and make sure we don't. Okay, and you can see, look, it has starter. It shows the collection is installed. So that's perfect. So we can have both of them. Make sure we don't have two copies of the chapters or something dumb like that. No, it looks good. Okay, so let's talk about the add-ons I have installed, and you guys can tell me what you think. So I'm going to just go over the list, and first of all, and some of these may not match my criteria. So here's my criteria, guys. The criteria is it has to fit in to the base game. We don't want any crazy, wild, and wacky building plans cropping up. Like, I'm okay if they're like I know Wasteland Ventures has a couple, and that would be like, but the vast majority of their things are just really well designed. But I would like it to be, I don't want to see like something that adds in a bunch of new like real world textures or hyper clean stuff. I think that will be off-putting for people who build an SS2 settlement and don't understand how the add-on structures work, right? Because we're going for new users. So I'm looking for stuff that fits in with the base game. I want things that are fully functional. So we don't want stuff that's like, oh, well, that building plan and that add-on pack is broken. If that's the case, that add-on needs to go out of this list until that add-on author fixes it. So my preference is going to be add-ons where the author is still available and active. So if any of these I go over, you guys are like, I know that person, there's a bug in there, it causes problem X, it probably needs to go. So we're going to say immersive as our first criteria. Second is going to be I'm gonna write down bug free, but that's not entirely accurate. That would be the pot calling the kettle black to say you have to be bug free, right? Like, well, there's no way SS2 is bug free. We all know that. So, but I would like it to be like just nothing that's game breaking, right? We want nothing that's horribly broken or that's gonna like brick plots all the time, or where you have to like fiddle with it all the time. Like, we don't want that. And then I think the next requirement would be simple. If it requires, like, if the add-on pack requires the player to manually select all their building plans, or if it requires like, oh, these are never meant to be used automatically, or it creates, if you have this one installed and you build a 1x1, then it makes it half the time you can't use it unless you move it to an interior. Anything weird like that where it's fiddly, that's not going to fit in this either, because again, we're going for baseline users or people who are just like, they got their feet wet and they're just looking for a little bit more. That's what this is aimed at. For stuff that's more advanced, like stuff that requires the player to like interact with ASAM sensors, I'm going to put that into like the power users. We're not going to do a power users build, but I'm going to put a power users guide out so that we can showcase that stuff as well. Because I don't want to short anybody. Like, this is the other thing, is this is kind of a way to showcase a lot of the add-on content. Like, when I put out an official collection, it's going to get a fair amount of attention, and a lot of people will treat this as their baseline. So I don't want to leave add-on packs out, but we do have to, you know, the reality is that a lot of players aren't going to get into the fiddly bits until they like the base. So if we give them too many fiddly stuff up front, they're going to have a bad time, and then they're going to leave. They're just going to stop using it. So we got to have a good onboarding experience here. Lachlan, how's it going? Good AMA to you. I'm doing good. Wasteland Carabiner, best is to support mod, pipe, AR, chambered, and all rifle rounds. Only death could part us. I don't know what that means. Daniel Matthews, bad neighbors and Homestead, I think, work with the criteria. Okay. Let's see. Those aren't bugs, they're features. All right, so let's go over what we've got in here, and you guys can give me your... I'm basically going to talk about each one for a moment or two, and then if you guys have any that I mentioned that you guys know of issues with, or like you think that it doesn't fit my 3-point criteria, please let me know. So the first one up here, SS2 Superstructures. This is run by... he goes by FTF Fan on Nexus, but most people in the community know him as XV. XV is fantastic. He's a real nice guy. Helps out with all sorts of communities. I know some of his stuff I could see being maybe a problem because it's so gigantic, so maybe that's a reason to worry about that. But I know he's available. He can fix issues, because that is a strong reason for me to put something in, is if the person's active in the community, because then I know if there's a problem and I get a report on it, I can relay it to them and I know that they'll fix it. So that's the first one up there. So SS2 Superstructures. Next is the DLC Settler patch. This is just one of my patches that's in the starter. This is just to make sure that SS2 actually spawns Far Harbor Settlers in the Far Harbor settlements. The outfit injection ESL is to take all those outfits we've got and spread them to more NPCs. The HUD override is to allow the workshop HUD to go up to 9999, so it adds an extra digit on all the things there. So that's all part of the base pack, so that'll be in all the versions. All right, so here's the second add-on, Pra's random add-on. Pra, another amazing community member. His stuff looks really cool. It fits all the criteria to me. It's immersive, it's bug-free, and again, I will call it bug-free if the person's active. So if a mod has a bug in it and the person's active in the community, we can still call that bug-free because we know that they'll fix it eventually. I don't know if it's simple though. What do you guys think? Is Pra's stuff simple? I have it in my loader. I don't feel like I've ever had to fiddle with anything. It seems to, his stuff just works. Carbon Kid, how's it going? Off topic, but when in the STS2 quest line does Jake and company comment on entering, destroying the Institute? I got it once and can't remember when. There's a couple of times he can do it. I don't remember the exact conditions, but yes, there is like a point in the mod. I think it's before Jake gets kidnapped. It will happen if you go and talk to him after you've recently dealt with the Institute, or if you're at a certain point in these two quest line, he will comment on your dealings with them. But there's only a limited window, and I think it's I believe it's during chapter 1 is when it'll happen. After you pass chapter 1, after the kidnapping, I think then that stuff won't fire anymore. Of course I said it just works, Sledge. That's part of the parlance that you pick up if you hang out in the Bethesda community long enough. Okay, next one down. Wasteland Ventures. I think most of us would agree that Merm and Tunuvia are some of the best designers in the community. Their stuff is just amazing looking. There are a few in there that would love to see not in the default rotation, like the IF Sauron looking things. Like, they've got a few that are a little bit out there from a immersion standpoint, but their stuff is really solid. The majority of their stuff is very immersive. Well, let's see here. Let's look at some comments on some of these. Superstructures adds a lot of foundations, but most are not labeled. It's a bit hard to figure out what type of ground it is. All right, we can give that note to XV. Chef, are you still in chat? I think I saw you over there. I think that's probably a good note for XV to hear. Or if some more of you guys have contact with him. I just don't have Discord up right now, or I just message him. But I think that's a good note that I'm sure he could fix very easily. All right, next up is Ruined Homes and Gardens 2. This is by Ruined World. His, to me, is like quintessential, like this is the perfect add-on for hitting my criteria. It is super immersive. He loves he was one of the designers on SS2, so you know he knows our aesthetic. Everything is super immersive. It's very simple. It's bug free, and he's not super active. Like he's not putting stuff out, but like I could DM him anytime if we ran into a bug. So I think Ruined Homes and Gardens is like the baseline example I would give if people were like, how do I get added to the collection? I would be like, go look at that. Like that's exactly the criteria we're looking for. It fits in nicely. It feels like it belongs in Fallout 4. It sits at home with the rest of SS2's core building plans. It's simple. It's bug free. That's not to knock on anybody else's. I just think his is a very good baseline for like it would. If I had took his stuff and just merged it into SS2, you guys would not have known like from the get go. It feels right at home with the rest of the stuff that's in the base of SS2. Excuse me. Next up, Junktown 2. So this one is originally by Uwit, and XV ported it, and Uwit is, if he is active in the community, it is under a different name. He disappeared for a while. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. Maybe he is active. Maybe he's one of you guys, and I've just not known. But his stuff, he was super active. Like he was one of the busiest add-on authors during SS1. Some of his stuff gets pretty out there, but I think that might be in Junktown Extreme, and that Junktown 2 might be pretty tame. This is where I need your guys' expertise, because I don't get deep in all the add-on packs. I install them and then just let stuff happen. Like I don't tend to get in deep with like selecting specific building plans most of the time, other than I aim for class. I'm more of a min-maxer, so I go for class more than building plan 90% of the time. So any thoughts on Junktown 2? Is it fairly bug-free? Is it fiddly? Does it have too many like wacky designs that are going to pop up? I'm mostly thinking about the oversized ones, but I think he moved all those to Extreme. But I might be wrong on that. So he also had Junktown Fences. I didn't include Extreme or Fences. Those two feel fiddly and niche. Those are the type of things where I'm like, that's going to confuse a new user. They're going to be like, I just wanted a Marshall plot and I got a wall that's the length of my settlement. Like that's not going to feel good. So... but if you guys have any comments on that, let me know. Jam Pads 2, that is by Captain Laserbeam. Captain Laserbeam is one of the developers on SS2. He got really involved during Chapter 3. He's super active in the community. He's updating Jam Pads all the time. I think he just had an update last month. Maybe even this, or it was either October or November he had a big update. And then he's still releasing more mods. So this one I think is an auto-include. I don't think he has anything too unimmersive. He does have things that are a little bit more colorful, and I know he has a lot of characters that show up in his, but I don't think it's anything. I wouldn't call them fiddly. I think they're pretty basic. You just build them and let them do their thing. All right, next up, Apocalyptic Editions. This is Sirlock. Sirlock was also on the development team. I am not entirely familiar with all of the building plans in here. Let me look this up really quick. I don't remember all the ones he's got on here, but I think that they follow the criteria of they are immersive, they are simple, and they're not fiddly. So let's see here. We'll take a look. Oh yeah, I remember some of these plans. Yeah, these are these fit in nicely. Let's see here. Not a lot of images to go by on the mod page. Very minimalist mod page. Let's see. Look at the. Oops, I just downloaded the screenshot, the one screenshot that's on there. But Sherlock has a couple of different add-ons. I don't know if I grabbed all of them because again, I just went in and grabbed the first like the top 20 or something, and then I figure you guys would fill me in on the details for the rest that I should grab. But yeah, looking at this, he's got a small handful of Marshall, a lot of interior residentials. I guess the interior residentials, no, they're fine. I'll say interior residentials are fiddly, but that's all interior. Interior plots are fiddly. I hate interior plots. I'm sure you guys have heard me say that. It's one of those things that like I acquiesced and added to the mod because so many of you guys asked for it over the years. But they drive me nuts because there's so many things that I can't do with them that I would like to do. I would love if we could dynamically set up the doorways. Like, this is actually a thing where Starfield has solved with the shipbuilding. I know it's not perfect. I know those of you guys who do a lot of shipbuilding would be like, oh, Starfield's thing sucks for that, but it's way better than the interior plots are, with actually like dynamically hiding walls and creating pathways for NPCs to walk through. Like, so far in my tinkering in Starfield, every time I've built a ship, NPCs have been able to path through the whole thing, or at least I have been able to path through the whole thing, which you cannot say the same for interior plots. Junktown 2 is iffy. Okay. Good call to omit the other ones. Yeah. Do we have, what kind of stuff would we say is iffy? I'm mostly concerned about things that are like super oversized or that like don't do anything by themselves, right? Like if that's where the fence is, was like, no, this is too fiddly. Are there any other things in there? And if any of you, if anyone watching, if you are the add-on author and you hear us, saying negative things about your add-on, that is not to be mean about your add-on. This is just, we're talking about it from the context of a brand new user and trying to create a particular experience. We're trying to like give the player more content to extend the base of SS2 without adding, without adding any new complexity, because there's kind of levels to get in. You have to figure, like, those of you guys who watch me on the regular and are really into SS2, you guys are power users. Like, you love the mod, you've gotten in deep, you're using a lot of add-on packs, you're okay with fiddly, you know what you like, what you don't like. A new user is going to be turned off if something's too fiddly. So this is why I think a lot of people bounce off of HQ. It's one of the reasons HQ is like high on my priority to get a 3.0 update, is like, I know a lot of people have made it chapter 2 and then quit the mod, and that's not cool. Or made it to the end of chapter 2, rather, I should say, because HQ is pretty much the end of it. HQ is too fiddly for its own good. It should be banned from the collection. Let's see here. Canuck linking the Samet's catalog again. Good place to search up and look through the different things in the add-on packs. It's pretty awesome. Omri said, so funny that you have issues with the interior plots. I mainly use interior plots. Oh, I know a lot of people do, and I know if I ever remove them, people would riot. So we're stuck with them. I just hate them because I think it's because they're not good enough. That's why I don't like them. Like, I understand that they're useful for the way a lot of people want to build, and they're good for letting you play with the SS2 mechanics while you can maintain control of the structure of the building. I just would like them to be better. That's why I hate them. And they're oh, you know what? This is reminding me. Hold on a second. I got to put myself another note. So I have to find, can somebody find me a link? And you guys, it may already be on the Samet's thing, but there is a mod out there that fixes the snap points on interior plots. And I'm 99% certain I reached out to the guy and asked him, hey, could I include this in SS2? And then I think I never did. But I think he gave me permission, but I need to find the permission before I do it. Like, I need to just have it, because like even Bethesda wants, if you are using anything that somebody else gave you, they want like proof of that. So I like to have that documented. But because I could get that in the next patch, if you guys can find that for me. Who put that out? What is it called? Interior snap point fix. Because that would make interior plots a little more salvageable if the snap points worked good in the base mod. Let's see, the Shadow. Is there any SS2 add-ons that add quests or characters? I assume so, but I have not run into it. I know like Happy Trails did. I don't know of the other ones though. And I think some of them have talked about doing it, but I don't know how many of them have done so. I have not been checking them out with Samet's catalog yet. No, I went with just endorsements to start, and then I was crowdsourcing the help for this of like, you guys all know them. You guys can tell me which ones I should or shouldn't include. Hey, Kez, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. Tiny Living by Frederick. That's one of my favorites. I think I do here. Tiny Living 3.1. That's by him, yeah. Interior snap point adjustments. Let's see if that's the one. I'm going to look it up. Interior snap point adjustments. It might be. I will. I put this down in my notes. I am going to favorite this, and I will check my DMs and see if I have a message from him. Because as long as I have permission from him, I can just take this and incorporate it in the base mod. And then that will make the base mod better and save everybody an ESL in their load order. From, hold on, who's the username? Oh, Mr. Manly Man. Okay. All right, it's on my notes. It will be taken care of hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's the one. Has any of you guys used this? Has anybody? Because I believe I vaguely remember when it came out last year. There were lots of praising it in chat, being like, "Hey, this is what you need to look at that and fix it." And then I think I DM'd him right away, and he's like, "Oh yeah, go for it." But I couldn't remember his name, so when I actually went to do it some months later, I couldn't find the DM. And then I never looked up this mod. So, but now I'm in, like, my head is all in new user mode, trying to make sure that you know, the potential flood of new people we'll have this month don't just bounce off of SS2 due to fiddliness. Thank you, Chef. Guys, going good. Everybody's with study, but don't have anything else due till February now. Scary will be a qualified nurse within a year. That's awesome. Congrats. I mean, I guess we'll save the congrats for after you finish, but I mean, within a year, that's not long, right? Year flies by. Okay, cool. All right, let's go on to the next one. So next one, Vortex Tools. Speaking of Samus, Samus is awesome. Vortex Tools, I think, does have fiddly stuff in it available, but I don't think it's like shoved in your face, right? Like, I think it's, pretty sure you can build a terminal with it, and it has a bunch of extra options. But I think the core of it is just a bunch of building plans, mostly interior stuff. I guess the concern might be if you get a lot of vault stuff in an exterior settlement, that could be kind of weird, but I still think it feels thematic, right? Even if you've got a vault themed building, it'll be like, oh, well, the settlers went and raided Vault 111, right? So Vortex Tools, I think, is good to go. And I know Samus is very active in the community, so my only concern was, is there anything that it's like pushing in your face or like I haven't run into anything. Like, that's the thing, is most of this stuff are the ones that I'm also playing with in my clean and play. So I haven't noticed anything funky with any of them. Scrappers, this one has been on the fence in the past. So Ono made this one. Ono, actually, hold on, I can open these up right from here, can't I? Yeah, open it next month, sweet. So Ono was a key member of the development team for a long time. He's largely moved on because we ceased chapter development. And I don't know how active he is anymore. I mean, the last update he had was in August, so I assume that has been fixes. I don't think he's been putting out more content, but I could be totally wrong about that. Like, I haven't heard anything from him in a while. And I know there's been times where he's had some bugs in this, but I believe that they are all fixed as of now. Is anybody aware of anything in Scrappers that's been a problem? He's also somebody I could probably DM still, even if he's not super active. I could, we have enough history. I could DM him and just be like, hey, could you fix bug XYZ, or let us edit it and upload a new version. Had issues with the latest version of Scrappers, I think. Had to roll back. Do you know what version you were using? And do you remember the issue? Because, like, I could DM Ono and see and be like, hey, we're trying to set this up for the next couple weeks. You got time to fix this issue XYZ. But yeah, if you have any details, I can try and see if we can fast track a fix. And if he can't, he'd probably give me permission to edit his plugin. All right, so we'll put a pin in Scrappers. I'm going to just note down that Scrappers may have issues. Stage models weren't showing. Let's check the bugs page real quick and see if there's anything recent. There's a bug from December 2nd, missing keywords. Which looks like Samet's actually filed it, and Ono's discussing it with him. Okay, Ono says, I'm having trouble with objects hidden in the CK. Posted in the help Discord channel. Seems I'm the only one who has this problem. That's why I haven't updated yet. Okay, so Ono is stuck right now. So Ono needs some help. May have issues. Talk to Ono. Okay, so yeah, he's got a call for help on his own page. So I will reach out to him and see if I can help him. Okay, we will hopefully get that sorted. Okay, tech settlements. This one I'm not super familiar with, but it was in the top 20, so I popped it open here. This is, oh, you know what? I think it had a different name before. That's probably why. I think it used to be called something with Institute in it. This is one by Argyle. It is very heavily Institute themed. I'll bring up the mod page over here. It's this guy right here. So this one might be, you know, breaking my immersion rule of like, if it's your first time playing Fallout 4, like getting Institute looking stuff would be very shocking, right? It'd be like, wait, what? Why is this so clean? Ben is going to suggest we had PRP to list. Hey Ben, how's it going? No, the point of this collection is to give players who have heard of sim settlements like an easy onboard. I'm trying to create a collection that's like going to give players like a very simple SS2 experience. I don't want them to have fiddly stuff. I just want them to be able to load this up. So it's mostly, the core of it is SS2 and the stuff required to make SS2 run, like Workshop Framework and HUD Framework. And that's like the core. And then we're adding in some add-on packs that have buildings and HQ and world repop stuff that will just inject into the base without the player having to fiddle with it. So it's very, very focused. But I'm also trying, the nice thing about keeping it focused like that is, in theory, this collection should work really well with other collections. So like, because you can stack them, as you guys can see, like I have 2 installed right now and they just slotted in nicely together. So if we keep within our fragment or in our space, like keeping this SS2 space, people should be able to add this to another collection easily. Like I think there's another collection that Nexus has linked that's like, what's it called? Hold on, let me find it. They have a collection that they're kind of advertising on the front page, which is just so if you go to Fallout 4's Nexus page, there's this thing that says new to modding Fallout 4, explore starter mods, and they have this like, what is it called, module NG 1 and 2. It's the basic essentials in Fallout 4. Like that in theory should work great with these. I am shocked that they have story wealth on there as an option for a first timer, because that's a lot to throw at a new player, but you know, that's up to them what they want to post up there. Let's see. Baka Temple. Oh man, there's a lot. Baka Templar Gaming. There we go. Will you be making any expansions a la Bard's College for FO4 now that the game got the verified creator creation program? Or can't say. Also, my first time in a stream here since 2016. Holy cow! Welcome back. We are unlikely to do anything through the VC program for Fallout 4. I'm still working on some settlements, so if I'm gonna work on Fallout 4 stuff, I'd rather just do that, and I'm not gonna sell some settlements too. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that for now. But we are working on another Skyrim thing right now. And then we're going to circle back to Watchtower soon, because we figured out how to make a whole crap load of space. If you downloaded the latest Watchtower update, it's like 500 megs smaller now. All right, so what do you guys think about tech settlements? I think like it's one of the more popular ones, and I think part of that is not to knock on the mod, but I think part of that, a lot of the most popular ones, most endorsed, are because they were the first ones out the door after we launched SS2, so they've got time on their side. But my only consideration against, or my only thing against tech settlements would just be, it might be jarring to get these clean Institute buildings on a fresh playthrough. And again, we're aiming at brand new users, so. I will say one thing about Story Wealth, like, you know, whether, even if it's a lot to throw on new players, it is very highly supported. Like the Exoclips, I think that's how you say his name, is super active. So, and like he comes, like anytime he has a problem with SS2 in his builds, he's always reaching out to me right away to see if there's something that he can change or that I can change to make sure it all works together. So he's pretty active from my perspective. Will the collection include the ability to have settlements pre-populate? Yep. Yeah, that's a native featured SS2 now. So that's something that I wouldn't advise new users to do, but it is just baked in to the mod. So, like, I think it would be a doing pre-build. I think would probably cause some oddities for players who are. Or it might do some disconnects with players who are playing through Jake's storyline, right? If you build up the whole Commonwealth and then Jake's like, I got these sensors nobody seems to want to use. And it's like, wait, what? So it's definitely more of a power user feature. Instance would be a big spoiler for new players too. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Downvote for attack, a little too unlore friendly. Yeah, kind of agree there. So yeah, we will. Okay, let's axe text elements now. In theory, remove mod, delete archive. I should be able to update my collection from this because I am logged in. Wait, what does this mean? So those text. Okay. All right. Well, I will. Okay, I'm gonna reinstall it for now. I'm just gonna put a note because I have it. Sure. I'm gonna reinstall it only because this machine is my one to test to play on. I have another machine where I'm going to use as my build machine. I have an old computer that I don't use anymore, and I was like, this can be my Vortex dummy machine. So I'll just put a list here I'll put a remove list. Remove text elements. And we can list this on our power users guide of like, hey, you want some Institute themed plots? Here you go. So I am going to, as part of the same effort, okay, there it goes. In addition to making these collections, I'm also going to make like a power user guide to kind of direct some people who are new, or maybe like they're past the new phase and they're looking to go to the next level. Like kind of point them to stuff. Like I'll probably point them to Samus's website, point them to some short list of add-ons that do some things maybe that aren't included in the base collection. Sure. So, like one of the things that came to mind was CBR Gamer has the power tools for people who really are into the component level difficulty, where you really need a lot of tiny controls that we don't have in the base mod that he's got in his. Why is this? Yeah, install dependencies. Do your thing. See, this is why nobody likes Vortex. Come on, just do the thing. Stop complaining, Vortex. Okay, we'll try closing it out and see if it fixes when I open it again. Just a moment here. Okay, let's see. Invalid primary tool. Okay, revert to the game's executable. Vortex is up to date. Yeah, we don't care about this right now. We're not looking for script extender in this build. Go back to mods. Let's see if text elements is there. It is. Okay, cool. All fixed. Okay. All right, so text settlements I'm going to remove because it is kind of lore breaking and unimmersive for somebody who doesn't understand where these building plans are coming from. Let's see. Baku Templar, are the Modathon collab mods good to use on Anniversary Edition like the Wes Johnson ones? Yeah, they should work fine. Those are pretty simplistic quest mods. There could be some conflicts with locations. Like I'm told that even SS2, some of the locations we're using, the Anniversary Edition added stuff in, and I have not even begun to deal with that. I'm still, until Bethesda fixes the rest of Anniversary Edition, I'm not doing anything to fix compatibility with it. So I assume that the assumption is that they will have it fixed before the television show comes out, but we'll see. So, and then sometime next year, early next year, I'll probably go through and Try and fix some of those compatibility issues with some of the new Creation Club stuff. Coming to us here. Cool to hear you going back to Watchtower. I'm currently playing it right now. Listen to you. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to go back through and fix up or finish up some of the post-Unity stuff. There was there's a lot of Unity reactive stuff in Watchtower up to a certain point, and then we ran out of space, so we just decided to like stop at a certain point within the quest line, and then so you'll get to like halfway through the quest line, and then all of a sudden the post Unity stuff stops, and it feels very jarring. So we want to get that in for sure. And then we have some other stuff. I don't know how much else we're gonna do, but at least that, because I want that feels weird right now. I don't want that to be left as it is. All right, let's see here. Keith Dawson, I was playing Watchtower last night and just made a mental connection between the Watchtower envoys and what Takeshi Kovacs is called in Altered Carbon. Was this nod to that show books? I don't think so, but I am a huge fan of season 1 of Altered Carbon is one of my favorite pieces of television ever. Don't watch season 2. Season 2 is hot garbage, but Altered Carbon season 1 is amazing. There's too many shows like that. Westworld, another one. Amazing season 1. The rest of it, don't bother. Heroes, same thing. It's like I have a small list of like TV shows where the first season was some of the best television I've ever watched, and then they just totally screwed the pooch. I think there's a lot of music has it. It's the sophomore slump, right? Where they don't fully understand their own sauce, and then they try and repeat the magic, and they flounder. I'm always worried we're gonna do that. Like if we try and make another Sim Settlements, if I'll totally screw it up. Damian, go to your collection, right click, and ignore any remove. Oh, so that it won't warn me about removing them. Well, I'm going to update it from my other computer anyway, so it's fine. Alexander, what did I miss? Kinggath using mods? So right now we're trying to build a collection for new players. A series of collections, actually. So I'm trying to make it so that people who hear about Sim Settlements have an easier time onboarding, because right now, if you just search for Sim Settlements, it's very confusing. So I want like a one button click that people can go to. And the timing is obviously due to we know that the TV show draws a lot of new players, but this has been something I've needed for a long time. I think even people who play it regularly but aren't as hardcore as all of you would love to have a single button they could use to update and get all the latest. Like, because the other thing this will do, like for the starter, which just has like SS2, the chapters and stuff, it'll become a one-click update too, right? It'll be like, if you have that, you can just one-click update whenever I do patch days instead of having to download new workshop framework and new SS2, etc. So it will be a nice little utility to have regardless. But Gamer, yeah, I'm waiting for their fixes to be about done myself. Yeah, it seems to be a smart way to go right now. It's like we know that they're gonna be doing several more patches, and that's why I didn't have a November patch for SS2. It was just like I want to wait until they fix more of the game, because I don't want to draw more attention to the game right now while it's broken, right? Like if I put out a patch and some number of people see my video and come back and be like, oh, I haven't played in a while, I'm gonna go and install now, and then if the game doesn't work, it's a bad time. And I'm going to just throwing this out there for mod lists that are getting bigger. I always say MO2 is better as you have more control over your load order. That is a migration tool that works great. It's not very like new user friendly though. MO2 is intimidating. Like Vortex, like if you ignore most of I actually wish they would simplify Vortex more. I think they overcomplicated Vortex even. But like the idea of it, of click a collection, hit install, and then come up here and click play, that's great. Like that's very simple. MO2, I've always felt like every time I open it, I'm intimidated. This I am too now. Like they've overcomplicated it, but at least I can tell a new user what to do. Go to the collections page, click this link, and then come up here and click play. It'll be very easy. I can make a video of this, and that'll be very, very digestible. Genlock season 1 amazing, season 2 we go in the community and say it doesn't exist. I've never heard of Genlock. What is? Can you tell me a little bit about that? Kids at AMC's The Terror, although season 2 would be good, it didn't have to stand in season 1's shadow. I mean, I'm hoping that Fallout doesn't go that route, because the creators of it are the creators of Westworld, and they hit the sophomore slump, despite even having like one of the best writers in Hollywood behind the show, and they just, I don't know. I think one of the things that makes a lot of these shows flounder on their second seasons is that what the good thing about the first season wasn't necessarily the story itself. Like, it wasn't the world, it was the story and the mystery. And like, once the mystery is revealed, then it, like, Heroes is a great example of like, it wasn't about a bunch of people with powers necessarily that was the exciting part. It was like watching them discover the powers and like not understanding how it was all going to come together. Like, that was like the real magic of that show. And then once it was like, all right, it's cat's out of the bag, everybody's got superpowers and everybody's using them, and now they're starting to turn into, you know, superheroes, then it became like, oh, well, that's not fun. Like, it was about normal people starting to figure out that they had powers. That was cool. And you can only do that. So like, I guess they could have done Heroes season 2 better if they went to like a different country, and like, instead of trying to follow the Peter's family, if they just went to like, all right, now we're going to do like Heroes Japan, or, you know, Heroes Australia or something, and follow a new group of people discovering they had powers. Like, maybe then they could have recaptured the magic, made it more of an anthology than a serial. Keith Dawson, I can watch Ultra Carb season 1 loop forever. Yeah, I want to watch it again, actually. I was so turned off after watching season 2, though, that I like, ugh, and that I haven't gone back to it. One button click and modding will never really go hand in hand, IMO. I mean, it's a great way to get new users to experience mods. I mean, one click install is kind of what Xbox offers for a lot of mods. It's or the Bethesda.net launcher, and a lot of people play that way. So I think, you know, like I said, all of you guys watching are power users, or most of you are, and like you've learned that you really want that control, but that's not most people, right? Like, most people want an iPhone. They don't want a unlocked Android that they can do whatever they want on. Some of you do, but the average user just they don't want to get involved in their technology. They just want to play games, which is fair. Edward, the actor for Peter Petrelli in Heroes is the lead in the new Call of Duty game. Oh yeah, I saw that. When I first saw the key art for that, I was like, Peter? And then actually watched somebody play through part of it, and I was like, yep, that is him. I thought sometimes it can just be coincidental, right? When they do the key art, I was like, that kind of looks like so and so, but I think between the, you know, with the way they do mocap now and stuff, it's like, it makes sense to just make the character look like the actor. Call sign Henshin, will there be a Wabbajack version of these collections? Maybe. I mean, to me, Wabbajack has always felt like kind of the power user version of this, but once I used Wabbajack early on, I have not used it since. And I remember when I used it the first time, it was relatively simple, but it felt like, I think at the time it was like mandatory that you have premium, and it didn't feel like it was designed to be the front and center one. Like, this is one of the differences between Vortex and Mod Organizer is like, you kind of have to go digging for Mod Organizer, whereas Vortex is like pushed in your face by Nexus, and Nexus is a fairly trusted mod site. Like, I think any new user is gonna feel more comfortable running Vortex than Wabbajack or Mod Organizer. Let's see. Ben, CC Complex as follows. New in Chapter 1. Ion Gun also marks persistent. A couple of things. Adds XR to match. There's no other change. That were marked persistent. Okay. Do those cause any... I guess you don't go through and play. You're just seeing that from the technical perspective. Yeah, it really just... Like, I don't care if they're messing with the same refs. It's mostly like, does that break anything, right? So that's what I have to check. And I haven't heard as much. The only thing I've heard about is like, there was a location where they either added their own interior door, and then it's one of those things where like now we've got multiple doors stacked on top of each other. But so it's kind of one of those things I probably just need to play through with all that stuff installed to find those issues myself. I like to figure out how to fix them anyway. Daniel Matthews, I think January, February is probably the soonest we can expect purposability, but I could be wrong. I hope you're wrong. I'm hoping that to me, like the last couple of issues we've got are like PlayStation players apparently have a ton of issues, and then Xbox is the downloading, like that you have to have double space available. That's a ridiculous bug. I mean, and then of course I would love to see them fix some of my pet bugs, like the that I've given them a lot of information on, like the power grid corruption. Love to see that fixed. If they only fixed that, I would be over the moon. I have a couple of others I've reported to them, like the interior nav mesh issue. There's a problem with the way their garbage collection is done with Papyrus that can cause certain methods of certain things you can do in the code that to just cause massive lag. We try not to do those things anymore, but there may be some elements of it, and there might be other mods that are doing it because it's totally valid code, just the game chokes on it. And it's hard to tell that that's why you're getting lag. Big Gamer, don't know if you saw my chat, but sent you a DM about my add-on in Discord. I think it will fit what you're looking for. Plenty of screenshots on the mod page. Cool. I don't have Discord open right now, so I have not seen it. Or I do have it open, just not on the computer that I am messing around with right now. Would be nice to make a Wabbajack version as well. I can definitely consider that. Right now, I gotta see how it's gonna be to manage a collection. Like, we'll see how this goes. It might be something that I regret doing. Like, we'll see how this goes because I have a lot on my plate already. But this has been something that has been on the back of my mind for a very long time to do. Genlock was made by a different production house and writers. Thanks, Warner Brothers. Oh, so like one season was made by one group and then the second season by somebody totally different. Using all my willpower not to go on a rant about Ultra Coverance, world building, and a lot of sci-fi in general. Oh, really? You're not a fan? So I really liked how much they explored just like this one idea of like if people could copy their brains onto chips and like all the different things that would emerge from that, like people making copies of themselves and the rich hoarding it. Like that was like, those were really cool ideas. It felt like that was a really thorough examination of like what that idea would cause. And then of course the putting it against the like cyberpunk film noir combo was just a lot of fun. Genlog is a 3D animation made by Rooster Teeth about mechs with Michael B. Jordan and David Tennant. Follows Julian Chase in his fight against commies, basically. There's a lot more. When did this come out? I used to follow Rooster Teeth back when they were just doing the Halo videos, but I haven't seen any of their stuff since. To me, they just did goofy Halo things. Adam, I'm talking about future-wise. Vortex handling load order is fine for small monoliths, but if they get the itch, big load orders are terrible to organize Vortex. The rule system irks me. Yeah, the rule system, I think for most people who when they first launched this, I think the rule system drove a lot of people away from it. We're like, ugh. But yeah, I mean, that would be a good thing to put in the power user guide of like, hey, did you like what you started with S2? Here are some ideas of how you can kind of level up your modding after this if you want to go deeper. Problem with this new way to mod is people don't understand the problems they are running into. Like in Starfield with so many new issues, people often blame the creators. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think I have the same thoughts often with like people who come in and they only learn touchscreens and then they don't know how to use Windows properly because they just go reach the screen. Like my kids, I already see doing that. Like they don't want to use a mouse because at school they're just given touchscreen computers. It's the same kind of thing though. It's still it's kind of inevitable of like that you will get the masses in with ease of use features, and then eventually if they like the thing enough, they will figure out the power user side, and if they don't, they'll go away. So but I would rather have more people come in and give it a try because then you have more chance of new people coming up. It's kind of like with Starfield. We talk about that one of the downsides of it landing kind of flat at first is that you, without the big user base, you have less people modding it, so you have less chance of like those crazy modders coming out of the woodworks. The people like who put out crash loggers and UI overhaul frameworks that can tap into the base and still work on Xbox, like all that, those like really fundamental things we need in the modding community. Like there's a certain level of deep knowledge that you have to have, and not very many people have it. So you just need a wide pool of people to pull from to hope to get one of those. And I kind of think it's the same thing with players. I think that if you cast a wide enough net, sure, some of them are just going to like learn bad and they're going to blame the modders, but then they'll go away. But you'll also find a lot of people who are, who will end up joining the community, who will be like, this is awesome, I'm going to go create more stuff for this game. So I'm all about just bringing in more people the merrier. Even if they are coming in under, we'll say subsidized modding, like, because they've got this auto modding. I feel like they should have kept mods and creation clubs separate. Yeah, maybe. It definitely is confusing, and I'm sure some people bounce off of clicking on a thing and finding out it has a cost. That's probably not great. But I honestly don't even know what that experience looks like anymore. I haven't been into like the store and the creation screen outside of just going there temporarily so that I can bounce over and uninstall or reinstall my own stuff for testing. Hell, I've been modding since 2011. I feel like Vortex is better. MO2 is more complex and takes less time than Vortex to fix mod conflicts. I end up using the reason I end up using MO2 more, I don't use either of them particularly often, is because MO2 is portable, so people can just send me a copy of MO2 with the mod list I want, like in a single package. So like, for example, when we do voting for the big city plan contest we used to do, we would just have a packaged up thing that had the save files and a mod organizer too and everything in it, and you just double click it and go, which was really cool. So that MO2 is more powerful, but yeah, it is more complex for that. You have complexity to pay for that. Was a terminal clipped to another terminal in the Vault Tech warehouse? Oh yeah, but that's like, does it block completion of anything, Amris? Those are the ones I'm going to be mostly concerned about. Like, I will want to eventually fix the minor ones, but there's only so much we can do, right? Where it just, at some point, it just needs a patch. Like if something requires us to move a location, like I'm not going to do that, right? It's just going to be like, no, that's going to need a patch. But if I can shift over a terminal, 1 foot to the right, and all of a sudden it's not being blocked by that, I can do that. For Marie, do you think Fallout 4 will fully handle SS2 on Xbox Series X after all these patches are done? I have no idea. Certainly hope so. I'm hoping that the patch already, once they just get it so that you can actually download mods without having double space, that will be enough to resolve it. Genlock came out in 2018 as the third most popular show after Red vs. Blue and RWBY. I don't even know what RWBY is. The only thing I know is Red v Blue. So I'm not a true fan, apparently. Kaz, I have a huge problem with settings where people can freely choose their appearance, but the rich are all old dudes. Wouldn't they choose to be young and beautiful? If there's a culture thing where older is seen as trustworthy, allow powdered wigs. I want to see that explored and reflected in the design and in the world advertising. Yeah, I don't know. It's some of it probably comes down to like storytelling shorthand, right? Where it's just like it's a way to shorthand like. Whether it be something like that, like you want the viewer to trust, or you want the viewer to be like to automatically assume wisdom or something like that. Could be something like that. I don't know. I wonder when Nexus will release their new thing and how will they enable people to switch from other managers to that? Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I remember when they did a presentation on their new thing, I think it was like 2 years ago. And they were talking about inventing a new file format, and it was like, okay, they're going deep for this thing. This isn't just a mod organizer. Like they're like reinventing the wheel. So I don't think they're anywhere close, would be my guess. Block me using that terminal. I can do a screenshot if that helps. It's weird. I guess, is it blocking our? Well, I mean, if it's blocking either terminal, does it block you from completing one of the quests? That's the biggest concern, right? If it's a showstopper, it becomes more of a important thing to fix. Like I will fix it either way as long as it's Again, doesn't require me to parent to it or whatever. But if it's preventing quests going through, then that makes it something like, okay, I got to put this on my priority list. Okay, let's get back to our discussion on these add-ons. Tiny Living, I think you guys all said is awesome. That's by Frederick, right? Let's see, open on Nexus. Yeah. Then Sim Homestead. What do you guys think of Sim Homestead? So this is by Eldarth. He was super active back during SS1. I don't think he's been active in a long time in SS2, but I may be wrong about that. Maybe he goes by another name, or maybe he's been releasing other stuff. I can see the last update that on this thing was 2021. It is listed as a beta as its current version. What do you guys think? How does it run? How does it feel? Does it pass our test? Remember, we're going for immersive, either bug-free or the person is active and they can take care of bugs and pretty simple to use. And when we say immersive, we want stuff that's like, doesn't feel like too wacky. Isn't a bunch, we don't want things that are like super clean assets or like, super low quality textures. We want stuff that just is going to feel pretty normal in Fallout 4. So that, because remember, a new user who doesn't understand under the hood how SS2 works yet, they're going to associate anything that pops up on their building plans as like, oh, that's from SS2. Like they don't know that, that came from one of your add-ons. You could remove that. So we want the core, these packs to be like pretty straightforward like that. I mean, if it doesn't block, you can still click stuff, just can't see it properly. Okay. All right, so not like an emergency situation, just kind of annoying. All right, let me know what you guys think about Sim Homestead. This one I wasn't sure about because it's been a long time since there's been an update. Favolabulous. This one was done by Rudy, I believe, and it was done. I can't remember if this was done. I think this was SS1 originally. It got ported. And it's like a random thing. I think he has it set up to where it's like each wall is randomized and stuff, and it makes these tiny little homes, and it's basically impossible for any two to be the same, something like that. But I don't know if that causes problems or not. Like they look good. Like looking at all the ones he put up, it's like, yep, those look like Fallout 4 houses. Those look like they would work well. Homestead was fine for me. I just remember some visual glitches on the Roman bath plot. Nothing too bad. A couple of Eldarth designs only have one level. I don't think that's the end of the world, having only one level. I think some of our stuff is that too. It's definitely preferable to have multiple levels because the upgrade is part of the fun, right? Random metal shacks are cool. Yeah, these are fabulous. For those of you guys who don't know, we're talking about this one right here, where it just does these like little tin boxes, and the walls are randomized, and like the clutter and stuff is randomized. And so, I think he said he has like 1,200 combinations you can get. It's seems pretty neat. Okay, next one. So I made plans. Whose is this one? I don't remember this one. Oh, this is Decade, or looks like also goes by Mickey Nyan. I'm probably saying that totally wrong. This one was really highly endorsed. I don't know. I'm not familiar with all the stuff in it though. Let's see here. Looks like very small interior usable spaces. This stuff looks all very immersive. It's not using anything too crazy in assets. There is one Institute room, but it's very small and subtle. It's not like the tech one where there was like the whole shell is Institute. So Someone Made Plans looks good at a glance. Is anybody aware of any issues? All right, moving on to Rags and Riches. This one sounds familiar. Oh, this is Foxel. Foxel was one of the devs on SS2, worked a lot on chapters 2 and 3, and is now super active in the community. And he's working on Merry Modding Days right now. So this one, his stuff always, I remember it being fairly immersive, so I don't see any problem with all of Fox. I think I have all 3 of Foxel's add-ons because he's got not only this one, He's got one that's like themed after Sanctuary, and then one that's after Far Harbor, I think. He may have more than this, actually. Oh, yeah, he's got a Nuka World one, too. The Nuka World one I could see being, just because it's going to be, you know, jarring to get a severed head on your first building plan. All right, let's see here. So I made plans. So I made plans as simp. Nice. Did not catch that acronym. Had any issues with it? Cool. Yeah, Rags and Riches looks good to me. Settlers at Play. This one was from somebody who does a lot of the contests. It was Gwen, right? Let's see. Gwen's the name. Yep. This has, these look great. Just looking at the thumbnails, very pretty, a lot of colors. Just reading through the description real quick. Okay, current shrine skins. What does that mean? Okay, shrine. Relax and one for the lets your settlers have a quiet moment alone with several skins. Okay, so it's so some of these are kind of a little bit. Maybe a little out there, but they're very small, and I don't know how often people are using recreational 1x1s. I think this would pass. They look nice, even though there's there's a gorilla statue on one of them, but they still look nice. I don't think this doesn't stand out poorly to me. Okay, so yeah, I think Settlers at Play is an easy one. Far Harbor Expansion, I'm going to take a look at this. This is another one by Foxel. My only concern with it, I just want to look at it real quick, is that if it has like anything super spoilery for Far Harbor, but I don't think it does. Just flicking through some of the stuff in here. It's making use of some, it's got some flags that are tied to them. It would be interesting to see if he's got those, faction lock. Children of Adam, that's fine. That can be in the base. Yeah, nothing here is standing out. I think the flags are the only thing that would feel odd to have access to before you had done Far Harbor. So it'll be interesting to know if he has this stuff conditioned or not. Some plots are locked behind quest completions. Cool. So he's definitely thinking about that. You can use them as the main flag. Set them on craft with the workshop. But even having access to those, like the flags, is not the end of the world, right? It's just if you don't know what the flag is, it'll be like, oh, that's an interesting design. Sure, I want that for my settlement flag. But yeah, he's got some unlockable stuff. So clearly, he's thought through some of this. So yeah, I would say Far Harbor Expansion's in. From Sanctuary to Concord, I'm 90% certain I already looked at this one a lot. It's another Foxel. Just uses a lot of stuff that feels like it came from the Sanctuary houses. Yeah, there's some cool looking designs in here. This one seems like an easy one. Let's see here. I do want to take a look at his Nuka World one real quick. Let me find this and see if it's Nuka World, just like the arcade side of it, versus the the Raider themed plots that some folks do, which we've done with Conqueror. A little too much for new players, I think. Oh yeah, this looks like it's mostly just focused on the arcade side, and it's not going with the blood and gore. Oh, interesting. He's even got stuff themed after Hubologists and the Gunners. Yeah, I think this Nuka World one wouldn't be bad. All right, I'm going to put it on my list of ads. Again, I'm going to do it on my other computer. So, Foxel Nuka World expansion. All right. Okay, Industrial Revolution of the Wasteland. What is this? That is again. I grabbed like just the top 20 and did. Oh wait, no, I do have Nuke World expansion right here. I already have it. I didn't even see that down there. I say I grabbed like the top 20 in endorsements, and thought this would be a good place to start. Industrial Revolution of the Wasteland. That sounds like something I made, but it's definitely not mine. This is by Stragist. Picture the terminal in your DMs. All right, thank you, Emeries. All right, so I am looking at the... Has any of you guys used this Industrial Revolution of the Wasteland? Because the Industrial Revolution for SS1 was complicated. I'm like, I don't know that I'd give that to a new user. Looks like it's a lot of interior industrial. That's just producing things. It doesn't look like it's particularly complicated at a glance. Like it has stuff that you might only want if you're in playing component, but for people who aren't playing component, like which is most new users are just going to play on medium difficulty out of the box. Like it wouldn't matter if you build a conversion plot or whatever in the lower difficulties, it just produces a bunch of stuff. So it's not a big deal. Production and conversion plots. Sure, GOG, you can update. GOG keeps flashing at me. It really wants to update, so we'll let it do that. Lots of production and conversion plots. Are they like? Do they feel like they don't produce anything unless it's specific stuff that you need, or like if you had a? So those of you guys who use Industrial Revolution, if one of their building plans popped up, like, do you feel like, oh crap, I got to go change that, or are you like, okay, cool? Like that to me is kind of the measure of if you feel like, no, I don't want that one here. And not because of the visuals, but because you're like, I know that it has some function. Like, I'll give you an example, IDEX. You don't want that to show up on a bunch of plots, right? That's going to be like, you will want that on a plot in each settlement, but if you get multiple of them, it's not useful. I mean, you can say that about all Caravan, but I think in particular, like it's doing a specific thing, right? It's a shell for his rather complicated back-end system. So are these like that, where you see them and you're like, oh no, I don't need that right now, or whatever? Or is it just like, okay, cool, it's more industrial stuff? Like, should we flag this for the advanced user pack? Is basically what I'm wondering, because it seems very like it follows the immersive checkbox. He updated it recently, so it follows the bug-free or active checkbox. So it's really just the simplicity. Is it simple or not? Flag on ammo making 1x1 gets funky, like the placement of ghost doesn't leave. So this one, do you guys think I should add it to the? Because like I said, I'm not going to make a power user collection. It is going to be a power user guide of like, hey, did you like your first taste of SS2? You want to get in deeper? Like, here are some of the more popular add-ons that. Or mods for SS2 that will be nice to have. Like, I'm thinking things like CBR Gamers tools, the Settler UI mod. There's stuff for like people who are like really getting into it, who want to have more control. That I want to point people to that kind of stuff, and like Samus's website, things like that. Probably advanced user. Okay, then I'll take this off of this one. So. Industrial Revolution. To advanced. Okay. All right. Next up, we've got Nuke World expansion. We're good, and then the last one I have on there right now is the Plotapalooza building pack. Those are all very simple. The question is, are there a bunch of bugs in those? Because it could be. Because when we put this together, and we still haven't updated it to get the last couple of seasons in, But does this need to be bug fixed? Like, obviously I can bug fix it, so this is under my account. I am curious, but this one's one I thought this would be fun to have. The Plotapalooza building plan pack would be a great way to showcase all the folks who, you know, popped in for a contest and maybe didn't keep modding. I was also thinking what we might do is, instead of doing the Plotapalooza building pack, would be include all of the individual contest entries that work. And the nice thing if we do that would be, it would be a good way to get all those folks some downloads. So then anybody who jumps into Plotapalooza, does a good job, puts out something, you know, that fits this criteria, we could guarantee that they get all the mod author benefits, right? Because anytime somebody downloads this collection, it's going to be donation points to those people. So it'll help out the add-on community. So I kind of want to do that over the Plotapalooza building plan pack, is like find all the individual entries and get them in there and get those folks downloads, because it gets them, there's like little perks, right? If you get a certain number of downloads, you get invited to the Nexus mod author server, you get donation points. Like, it will help all those people. So I guess, so we'd have to go through, I'll have to go through all the Plotapalooza entries and figure out which ones are like functional, because I think some of them, like that was part of the requirement to be a valid entry. But I do remember doing the voting in a couple of the seasons where like one of them just wouldn't work, and then people were trying to help the person. So we'd want to go through and make sure that they were functioning. All right, guys, give me some, tell me a couple I'm missing that are like must-haves that I need to get into this list. We're going to wrap up here soon. And I'm going to continue this conversation. I'm likely going to post something on our forums, like talking about this plan in more detail, and getting more information from people, and, you know, letting folks know like in more detail about the criteria. So if folks want to get their stuff added to this pack, then they know that there's kind of there will be a little bit of subjectivity to it, but I'm hoping to make it relatively objective so that it's not, I don't want people to feel like I'm picking favorites or something. MCM, reason being newer players tweaking settings is annoying. So that would have to go into the F4SE design, and that is a good idea. So I'll show you guys the last collection I have, since we are getting ready to wrap up here soon. So if I go to workshop, we have the SS2 Starter Plus F4SE edition. So this is kind of like the third level that I want to offer for people who are not afraid of a script extender. And the reason that I even decided to do an F4SE edition was because of city plans. If you install Rise of the Commonwealth and the Mega Pack, you are going to hit the script data limit. So, you know, I think a lot of people will want a bunch of city plans, and like that you kind of got to have Bach and Scrap Heap for that, which then requires the address library, and that requires both of those require script extenders. So it was those three, and then the Mega Pack. That was what I added to this, the City Plan Mega Pack, which has got all of those contest entries. And this is where I could get into, outside of the contest, going through and finding like all the cool city plans that are out there that aren't part of a pack, because I know there's a lot of them. We get 6 or 7 new ones released every month that I talk about in my news video. So there's always more city plans that we could add to this pack, because once we have Back of Scrap Heap, you can kind of go nuts. And so yeah, we can add MCM to this list. That's a good idea. Add MCM to F4SE build. I like that. I think that fits the category of simple. It makes a lot of things more simple, because not having to go into holotapes is pretty awesome. Bad Neighbors. Bad Neighbors got ported to let's look that one up. I remember that one from SS1. Yep, Mr. Jose Cuervo, there it is. Oh, wait a second. Oh, that's number 1. Sunuvia took over the new one, right? Wait, and then what is this? And then there's 3 different versions that come up. See, this is one of the problems I wanted to solve was searching for sim settlements is a little bit terrifying currently. You just get so much stuff, and if you're not in tune with it, it's hard to know where to begin. Oh, Chinese translation. Okay, that's what that is. I really wish Nexus would show the translations differently. Like enforce like a corner overlay that shows a language or something. Like there's got to be something to make it like those should not show up as a normal search result. The Plotapalooza plaque generally has more fixed plots than the individual plots. There are some individual ones that are still broken that I found while trying to get their screenshots. Oh, interesting. Well, that's something we could deal with, Sam. It's as far as like I could just include the ones that are individual that are not broken, and then that if those people want to be a part of the pack, we just have to tell them, hey, you got to go fix your thing, right? Because I love the Plotapalooza pack, but it does seem like one of the benefits of doing these collections is it is going to share the love with more creators, right? Because if I have individual pieces, because like I said, there's donation points, so there's you can earn a little bit of money doing this. And if not, if you don't want the money, give the money to charity. You could get yourself a game code once in a while. And if they want to get involved in the modding community, like it would be a nice incentive too for people to join future contests. It'd be like, hey, you'll get added to the official Sim Settlements pack, and like you'll get a ton of downloads right away. Like that could be a cool little perk. So if you know which ones are broken, Samus, if you want to DM me a list of those, I can exclude those if you happen to remember any of them in particular. But what I'm probably going to do is put together like my starter list of like, here's what I'm thinking, put it on the forums, let people like red flag any of them that I should not include before I actually release this. And then this will probably be something I release like alongside the next patch. So I don't know, maybe next Friday or the Friday after. Probably next Friday, honestly. That'd probably be a good timing because I do want to get ahead of the TV show. I know there's a couple of bugs. I got a couple of like bad bugs in SS2 right now. Like I think the virtual reality room is broken right now, so people can't finish chapter 2 without console commands or using cheat codes. Check my box on the left search window, exclude translations. Yeah, I just think it would be a good native. Like that should just be the default in Nexus. Kaz, your mega pack crashes. What do you mean? Like if you load the mega pack, the City Play mega pack, the game crashes? Because I need to check that and see. Here, we'll try and launch the game right now that we got this installed. We'll see what happens. Nora's Commonwealth Reconstruction Project. Are those city plans or building plans? We want... Oh, this is obnoxious. I hate this thing. This save versus current load order. Like, of course I want the current load order. Especially, what's really funny is if you buy something in the shop, it still does that. So you go to load your save to play the new thing, and the default is to disable the thing you just bought. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Terrible user experience. Hey, my game didn't crash. Okay, well that's a good start. Let's see here. Can I support structures of the wasteland? What is that? Let me look that up. Structures of the wasteland. Oh, it's another one by Stragist. All right, what kind of stuff is it here? Bathhouse, hand wash station, crematorium. Bring out your dead. Fantastic. I love me some Monty Python reference. Majestic fountain, imperial fountain, banking and trust. Okay, so a lot of municipal plots. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that seems like a good inclusion. I think I read that one, the title of it, and I was like, oh, that's probably like more foundations. So I was like, that's not what we want. Okay, so we'll put that under add. Support structures. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so will there be a modding collection with modders resource and stuff? Asking for a friend. There, probably not. There is a, if you want that, like if you're one of the things I'll recommend to power users is they go grab Yagi-san's Wabajack. Like that's a good place to start. He puts all sorts of cool stuff like that in there. It's really good. It has like Wasteland Reconstruction Kit, and it's a really good one if you're really into building. So that is where that's one of the things I need to put in that power user article is point to Yagi-san's list, because he maintains it very actively. Let's see here. Bare Essentials. Yeah, I remember. Who does Bare Essentials? That's I know I've seen that one. Raven, the 1x1 residentials, that's Nora's Commonwealth Reconstruction Project. That's what you're talking about? Nora's... Because the name of that made me think of City Plans. Reconstruction Project. But yeah, ultimately, like when I do put this out, I will keep adding to it. So like this does not have to be like an end all be all list. I just want a good starting point, and then I'm gonna hope that you guys can help me spread the word to any mod author that I miss. That are like, sorry, it was not meant to be a slight. Like we'll get you in. It was just like I needed a starting point somewhere. BE by M. Salaba. Yeah, M. Salaba does a lot of code stuff. He actually sometimes sends me fixes for SS2. What is his called? Oh, Bare Essentials is his. Gotcha. Yeah. So he's got a bunch of random little mods and such. Yagi-san's list may be unavailable due to updates. Updates is in Wabajack updated. He needs to update it, or something because of the Fallout 4 updates. He was usually on top of it because he's very involved with the We Are Builders community, and every time there's a contest, usually they rely on his thing to get things up and running. Or maybe he moved away from Waba and is just doing a MO list that he distributes manually. I'm not sure. I will definitely be looking into that though, because I feel like I'm not the best person to maintain a power users list, just because I think it would be, I think power users want more up to date, and people to dive deeper into things, and I just don't have the bandwidth for that. So I think I'm definitely better suited to handle the new user experience. He's waiting for the patch to finish it. Oh yeah. I don't blame him. Me too. That's when C. Dante takes care of the workshop framework DLL, and he said he wanted to wait, and I was like, yep, don't blame you. We can hang tight on that one. The lists are there right now. Okay. But I wouldn't be shocked if he's just said I'm not doing any more updates until the Fallout 4 stuff is sorted. Oh, is it maybe just not listed in there, but if you have a direct link, maybe you can get to it, so maybe that's how you're looking at it, Phil? Alright guys, well I think I'm about to wrap up for the night. I am going to, like I said, post this on the forums tomorrow in more detail. I'll try and come up with some nice standardized, as objective as I can be, language for the requirements to get into these packs, so that my goal is not to leave anybody feeling slighted. I just am focused on giving new users a good experience. So that has to be, and then if there's other things I can do to help the community. Like I think getting as many individual add-ons in here would be good to help those authors and get them exposure and some donation points and such. And then things that kind of don't fit the mold, if I can at least showcase them on, you know, some sort of guide that's like, hey, once you're ready to graduate from this list, like start here, here's a next spot for you, and we can get that up on our wiki and on an article on the Nexus page. So, but thank you guys for your suggestions and set me straight on some of these, and I will hopefully be back Sunday night for some more Skyrim. So I will see you guys all later this week.